Alright class, let's dive into the world of matrices. You might be thinking, why should I care? Well, matrices are actually used in all sorts of cool things, from search engines to video games. So, let's get started. So, what exactly is a matrix? Simply put, it's an organized way of arranging numbers, symbols, or expressions in rows and columns. In ICSE, understanding matrices is super important because they pop up in various topics. Plus, mastering them can really boost your exam scores. Let's start with the basics, the order and types of matrices. The order tells us how many rows and columns a matrix has. For example, a 2 by 3 matrix has 2 rows and 3 columns. Then, we have special types like row matrices, column matrices, and square matrices. Okay, listen up, because this is important. A square matrix has the same number of rows and columns. Why is this important? Because only square matrices can have something called a determinant. The determinant is a single number that tells us a lot about the matrix. Now, let's talk about how we can actually do things with matrices. We can add them, subtract them, and even multiply them. Adding and subtracting is pretty straightforward, you just add or subtract the corresponding elements. Multiplication is a bit trickier, so pay close attention. Here's a critical formula you need to remember, AB is not equal to BA. This means matrix multiplication is not commutative. The order in which you multiply matrices matters. Keep this in mind for your exam, it's a common mistake. Let's dig a little deeper into matrix multiplication. Remember, you can only multiply matrices if the number of columns in the first matrix matches the number of rows in the second matrix. Also, the resulting matrix will have a specific size based on the original matrices. Think of the identity matrix like the number 1 in regular multiplication. When you multiply any matrix by the identity matrix, you get the original matrix back. The identity matrix is a special square matrix with ones along the diagonal and zeros everywhere else. Pay close attention here. A very common mistake students make is trying to add or multiply matrices that don't have compatible dimensions. Always check the orders of the matrices before you start any calculations. Trust me, examiners love to test this. Let's work through an example together. Here's the question. If matrix A is 1, 2, 3, 4, and matrix B is 5, 6, 7, 8, what is AB? First, we multiply the first row of A by the first column of B, and so on. Follow the steps carefully, and you'll get the correct answer. Matrices aren't just abstract math concepts. They're used in computer graphics to rotate, scale, and transform images. Think about how video games create realistic 3D worlds, that's matrices in action. It's also the tech behind image editing software. Here are 3 quick exam tips to keep in mind. First, double-check all your calculations, especially in matrix multiplication. Second, make sure you understand the properties of special matrices like the identity matrix. Third, practice. So, let's quickly recap what we've learned. We started with the order and types of matrices. Then, we moved on to matrix operations like addition and multiplication. Finally, we saw how matrices are used in real-world applications like computer graphics. And guess what? All of this, AI notes, doubt solving, and practice tests for matrices, is available for free on Synapse. So, study smarter, not harder, and use the tools available to you. Start your free learning journey today at synapse.omups.in. Master matrices for your ICSE exams. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more free lessons. Visit synapse.omups.in and start learning today.